from PRX.
Hey everybody, this is Scoots. This episode is inspired by some posts, interactions I had with the Instagram account Syracuse History, and I'll link to it for Syracuse, New York. But I'm sure there's like these cool independent people on Instagram or other places that are trying to keep the history or research the history or talk about the history of the places you've lived. So don't forget to check those out. And appreciate my interactions with people that are looking into history, but also like, hey, where send me in the right direction. Thanks so much. Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for the podcaster. I guess I'm wearing a shirt, not a shirt made of waffles, and not a shirt based waffle. Like I have a waffle, which they're not as popular. And the shirt I'm wearing now, I don't know if it'll ever be popular. It's a lavender waffle shirt that I got for live shows. I don't know if I ever wore it at a live show because it's constructed in a very interesting way. But I'm going to be waffling around. If you're new, welcome to Sleep With Me. I'm really glad you're here. This is a sleep podcast that's here to keep you company like a friend and take your mind off of stuff like a friend in the deep, dark night. Almost like listening to a sitcom or an audiobook, but a little bit different. And there's not going to be any pressure to fall asleep here. I'm just going to be here while you fall asleep talking to you in a meandering way, kind of telling you a story, or eventually telling you a story that listening to it's optional. So I'm here to be your friend in the deep, dark night because I've been there. And a lot of other people that listen to the show have. And the show is very different. It does take some getting used to. So if you're new, just give it a try and see how it goes. And no pressure to like me or the show. Most people don't. It's a bit of an acquired taste, but it's the kind of thing, if it helps you out, one, it's great because I'm just here to help you fall asleep. But two, it's different than most other things. So you say, oh, I didn't know something like that could be even out there for me to find. So I really hope this is the kind of thing you're looking for. If it's not, I do have a website set up, sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you, that you could check out. And it has other sleep podcasts and sleepy stuff on there. But I really hope we can help. Basically, what I'll be doing is talking in this way and going off topic and stuff with a lot of filler words. So just see how it goes. Most regular listeners say, hey, it took 2 or 3 tries for me to get used to the show and realize, oh, he wasn't kidding, but he wasn't serious either when he was talking about how the show works. Like he meant what he said, but it's tough to describe. So I'm glad you're here. What we got coming up, we've got support, and that's like the ad support shows what most people like to listen to. Then a long meandering intro, separate from the support. The intro is meant to ease you into bedtime and get you ready for bed. And then there'll be a bedtime story later on. All told, we'll be here about an hour, a little bit more. So I'm really glad you're here. I'm able to do this twice a week because of people that support the show directly or support the sponsors or support the show in other ways, like spreading the word, letting people know about Sleep With Me, or just being kind. Even if you're not directly kind to me, when you listen to the show, you are a part of something. So even if you have nice thoughts about other listeners, it really does make a difference to me, and that's why I keep coming back. And I'm able to keep doing this. Like the true energy of the show is something shared where the show helps you out. And then maybe you let somebody know about it or do something. Or you just say, you put that energy out there in the world. Hey, I know there's somebody else out there and I'm glad they're here too. I've heard from people, it does make a difference. You're positive. I don't know how to explain it though, because when I start to explain it, doesn't, my skeptic gets all But I know it's real, even though I'm a skeptical person. So, yeah, I'm really glad you're here. And here's a couple of ways we're able to do this for you. Sleep With Me podcast is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are the things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations. Hey, everybody, Scoots, this is the time that I used to, try to convince you to sign up and support the show right now. You know, those of you that are listening and already know how much you value Sleep With Me, to tell you to go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. But my messages just haven't been working. So now I'm just using listeners' words of why they supported the show. So if you could listen closely, maybe you'll hear something in their words that'll say, oh, yeah, of course I should support Sleep With Me. This comes from Celeste. I discovered Sleep With Me from a Google search while I was on vacation, desperately trying to get to sleep. I made the choice to support the show because I don't ever want it to go away. The podcast is unique. There's nothing like it. Gentle, funny, weird, and kind. Makes me feel held somehow, like there's something I can count on to come gently by my side when I'm struggling to go to sleep or back to sleep. I can hardly even express how valuable it is to me practically and emotionally. I feel proud to support it. I like thinking I help others maintain access to the podcast. I also like thinking that my monthly contributions are a meaningful thank you to Scooter and everyone that works on the show. So thank you so much, Celeste. And yeah, if you relate to what Celeste is saying, don't wait, like Celeste said. If you're in a position to support the show, you relate to what Celeste said, support it. I don't need to convince you. I just got to make sure you hear me to take action. So sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Thank you so much, Celeste. Oh, Mystery Bard, a lot of people help out on the show. Who are they?
Chris Posty Poster Son sounds like an earful. Wrote the theme song. Edits episodes. Carl W. the Legend. Also edits episodes. Ashley, Kenny, Scotty, Jennifer. Runner. Eric and the team at Astound are on the website. I am the Mystery Bard. I do the lullabies, yeah. I do commissions at JonathanMann.net. I'll write a song for you. Any reason at all. You can tell me the story and I'll make it personal. You see the kindness shine straight on through when the listeners form their own Facebook group. Keith, Stacy, Sarah, Julie, and Jennifer. These are your moderators. Get support dear Scooter on Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. You can find anything you want at sleepwithmepodcast.com. And we're so proud that we could dance. Rusty Biscuit, Lois, Hannah like banana. Leah does the transcripts.
Thanks, Mystery Bard. Don't forget, if you're looking for access to Sleep With Me Plus, to access to ad-free episodes, but you're not in a financial position to support the show, you can earn those for free by referring people to free podcasts at our referral program, sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer. If you're like, yeah, I can't afford to support the show, but I really want some of that sweet, sweet bonus content on Sleep With Me Plus, sign up for our referral program and send me an email. Thanks, everybody. What do you say we slow it down and get on with the show? Hey, are you up all night tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep? Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do it the bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. I'm going to do the rest. What I'm going to attempt to do is create a safe place where you could set aside whatever's keeping you awake. That could be thoughts on your mind, things you're thinking about the past, the present, the future. Thoughts, thinking thoughts. It could be feelings, anything coming up for you emotionally, that may be related to those thoughts. It could be feelings left over from the day, feelings that are just making an appearance at bedtime so conveniently. Oh, thank you for those thoughts and feelings that decide, oh, now's the right time. I've been thinking about this all day, but I didn't want to bring it up till you were almost asleep. But did you ever notice, or Or do you remember this? Or, hey, you know this feeling, you know, I was thinking we keep this as an underlying feeling, but I'm thinking maybe now's the time for me to bring it to the surface. Oh, we're so thankful. So it could be feelings if you relate to any of that. It could be physical sensations. It could be changes in time, temperature, routine. Maybe you work a different schedule. Maybe you're traveling. Maybe you have guests. Maybe you're just going through something. The only reason I take the time this part of the show is so you know you're not alone. And I know that can seem, I don't know. I know you can have feelings about it because I do. But I think it's important for me to point that out or to spend some time with it so you feel seen, but in an indirect way. Or maybe it's a new way of talking about it on the show. Other people were aware of it, right? Maybe you say, whoa, I didn't come to a sleep podcast to feel seen. I mean, underlying feeling of being seen, but no, I'm not here to be seen. I mean, that's how I feel whenever I go anywhere. So I'm not doing a live show to be seen here. It's pretty funny, but it's true. I say, but I'd like you to be aware that I'm here to do a show to put you to sleep or whatever. But, so I don't know, maybe you could help me out down the road and send me a message or whatever. But it's like, I guess, that I'm aware it's not easy for you. Whatever brought you here, I'm glad you're here because I'm aware of like what it's like when I can't sleep. And I think some of those feelings may be relatable. And I know, and I say, man, if I'm like, I guess now I'm going to overuse aware, but if I'm aware of that, I say, wow, that must be tough. Whatever it is you're going through. Because I know even when it's nothing specific that's keeping me awake, I know what that feels like. The other thing is that you deserve a bedtime where you could get the rest you need so that you don't have, where your bedtime doesn't full like rigmarole, where you don't have to dread bedtime. For me, particularly as a kid, I started dreading Sunday nights on like Friday evenings, and then Saturday it would hit me. I got to go to bed and tomorrow night. And so I really know what that feels like at my core. And that's not fair for anybody to feel, even if it's a mild version of that. Like you deserve a bedtime where you could feel neutral or look forward to it and where you get the rest you need so your life is manageable tomorrow. And ideally so you could be out there flourishing because our world truly is a better place when you're in it and when you're out there flourishing. It's a much better place. It has a positive impact on all of us when you're more rested. And it's true. But it's not easy. I don't know. It's like most people aren't aware of that thing. They say, man, it's great. And the people who listen to the show are. Like there's really someone listening who's been through something very similar to what you've been through who is rooting for you right now. That this show helps you out and keeps you company. And maybe it takes 2 or 3 tries to realize, oh, he's always talking about nothing. So I hope you feel that there's a general awareness of you here in a positive way. General positive awareness. You see, when he's talking like that, is it subtextual? No, I don't even know if he knows what that means. He would try to come up with some word like subtextual. That it would be like a submarine sandwich version of subtextual. Well, I don't understand. Yeah, no, neither does he. So what I'll do here is I'm going to send my voice across the deep dark night. I'm going to use lulling, soothing, creaky dulcet tones, pointless meanders, and superfluous tangents, which means my voice is not traditionally soothing, and I don't I don't follow any kind of script. Even for shows that are written, I'm just meandering my way through a story or through a TV show recap or through a personal essay and, stopping to look at stuff on the way there or getting distracted by my thoughts. So all to keep you company and take your mind off stuff so you could fall asleep. So this is a podcast that you don't necessarily need to listen to, but you could listen to it, which is different. It's like, okay, I could listen, but I don't have to listen. Yeah, there's no pressure to listen. It's almost like an out-of-focus picture or a TV on in the other room or having something on, like a show on under your pillow. It's like that, but it's also like in a friendly way where it's like, hey, this person is talking for my benefit. Just like if you called a friend, but you just can't do that every night. You say, just tell me about something for about an hour while I fall asleep. I'm going to kind of listen to you and I may humor you about, but I'm really trying to fall asleep. I just want you to take my mind off of stuff because I've been going through it. Or I'm not sure why I can't sleep, but I can't fall asleep. So can you help me out? And most friends would take you up on that a few times, but realistically, they can't do it all the time. So I fill in. I'm a fill-in friend. Not if you ever watch a show like the one with the game show. I'm not a phone a friend. I mean, I'm a phone a friend to put you to sleep, but don't phone me with any trivia. Because either there's 100% chance I'll either know right away or definitely not know it at all. So, yeah, I'm here to be barely listened to. Also, there's no pressure to fall asleep with this show, which is different. I've been making this podcast for over 11 years. When I started, the idea of bedtime stories for grown-ups or particularly boring bedtime stories for grown-ups wasn't really a thing. And it's still not, I don't know, I still feel like I make it in a different way because I'm not here to put you to sleep. I'm here to keep you company while you fall asleep. And that's why I'm here over an hour. That's why there's tons of shows ready to go in the archives. And there's other stuff that may be there to put you to sleep. I'm here to keep you company and then you just wake up tomorrow. But if you can't sleep, I'm here to keep you company. If you need a break during the day, I'm here to keep you company. If you wake up in the middle of the night, I'm here to the very end, whether you're awake or asleep. And I really think that's what makes this show work. I'm going to be here for you, but you don't need to pay attention to me or, you know what I mean? I'm here for you, whether you're listening or not. And that role is like your boar friend, your boar bae, your boar sib, your boar bud, your neighbor, your boar bee, your boars, your boar bestie, your best boyfriend forever. I'm here to keep you company and take your mind off of stuff so you could fall asleep. And I guess that's a little bit different, but it's hard to explain until you're a regular listener, and then you're like, oh, okay. Now, most people, when they get here, are skeptical or doubtful. I talked about that earlier, and that's normal. Like, why wouldn't you be skeptical or doubtful if someone told you about this show or you couldn't sleep and then you're searching for a sleep podcast and then the show comes up and then you're like, I thought this would be more soothing or more, I don't know, more meditative, or I thought you were going to put me to sleep. And kind of, in an indirect way, I'm here to take your mind off stuff, to distract you, to whatever's keeping you awake, to be something different, to focus on that's outside of you. And that's what I learned from all my sleepless nights is like, well, this is why I do it. Because you don't, like, I'll talk about stuff that you really don't have a stake in. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So it does take some getting used to, and some people never get used to the show. Like most people, it takes 2 or 3 tries, and those people, those are regular listeners that are super engaged with the show that tell me that it took 2 or 3 tries. First, I didn't like you very much, or I didn't get it. But there are people, a large number of people, that have even something stronger than a distaste for me right away, or the show doesn't work for it. That's why I have sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you set up, so you could still find something to put you to sleep. So just give the show a few tries and see how it goes. The other thing that can throw people off is the structure of the show. And the show's structured in a very specific way. So I just want to tell you about that. Like, it starts off with a greeting, friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So that's where you feel seen, or you say, oh, the show's aware that it should be friendly to me and welcoming to anybody that wants to stop by and check it out. And then maybe there's a little bit of our mild humor, our humor-like, whatever, humor-esque tone. And you say, okay, it's got a silly tone. It's serious, friendly, and silly at the same time. Okay, maybe I could check that out. Then we have sponsors, so paying for the show is optional. If you want something without ads, you get that at Sleep With Me Plus. But most people like listen to this version linearly. A lot of people set a sleep timer for like 45 or 60 minutes. But as you become a regular listener, there's a lot of different ways you could listen. That's why I talk about the structure of the show. Again, to meet you where you are if you have questions. So then there's the teaser support. Then there's a long meandering intro, which is separate from the support. It's a show within a show. We're about 15 minutes into it now. It's where I try to explain what the podcast is unsuccessfully. I can't do it concisely, but I do it in a familiar structure every time. But every time I try to explain it, something different comes up to distract me on my way to explaining what the podcast is. And that's important to me because I feel like, one, most of us need a wind down. So the intro, that's a primary purpose of the intro, is as a wind down. So whether you're getting ready for bed, unwinding, chilling out, or in bed getting comfortable, the intro serves as a buffer for between being awake and asleep. There is a small percentage of people who fall asleep during the intro, but there's also people that only listen to stories. So it kind of, like that, as you become a regular listener, you could kind of figure out. And that's why we offer so many different versions of the show on Sleep With Me Plus. But most people, they just put on the show, wind down during the intro, fall asleep during the story. So that's one part of the intro. The other is it's a familiar structure every time, but it's different every time. And I think that's important just because, I don't know, I want something familiar at bedtime that feels nice. But it can't be predictable. Otherwise, the parts of me that keep me awake will say, oh, boy, there you go again. Whatever. They start to activate. And I'm here to distract those parts of you, but also put them at ease. They say, oh, there's Scoots again. And particularly the parts of you that are more likely to point fingers, they can point them at me and be like, once again, he does not know where he's going. And so it's kind of fun. I get to keep them company too. So that's the intro. It goes on and on and on, 15, 20 minutes. Then there's support. Then there'll be our bedtime story. And then, that's it. And I really appreciate you coming by, whether you're new or this is like your 1,000th episode. I couldn't do it unless it helped you, right? And again, it doesn't help everybody. I wish it did. But if it ends up helping you out, that's why I get to do this show, and it means something to me because I've been there and I'm aware of it, right? Now, it does take a lot of work and a team of people to make this show, so it's not just me. I want to over-congratulate myself because I can't do it like that's what I mean. Like we do it as a kind of community because people that support the show, then I can support the people that work on the show and on and on and on. So, but I'm really glad you're here. Just give the show a few tries if you're new, see how it goes. No pressure at all. And if you're a regular listener, you're so happy to see you. Any pets that are listening, obviously, you're the most important people in the room. What up, fishes? I always like to pander to you. And other pets, of course, other pets. I'm only pandering to the fishes because fishes, stop listening, please. Because you're the most important pet, obviously. So glad you're here too. Most important person in the room. The cats are the cats are nodding knowingly, right? So yeah, I'm glad you're all here. I work really hard. I yearn and I strive. I really appreciate your time, and I really hope I can help you fall asleep. So one more time, thanks again for coming by. And here's a couple of ways I'm able to do this regularly for you. Thanks. Hey everybody, this is Scoots. I want to make this short and sweet. If sleep with me helped you find rest or ease in the deep, dark night, I don't know if you knew this, but the main way we keep making this show and the main way you could support the show when you say, I love this podcast, I want it to be here for me whenever I need it, how can I support it? Scoots, how can I help you? Because you help me so much. If you're asking that question, the best way to help the podcast is by going to sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus and joining Sleep With Me Plus, because it's a two-way street at Sleep With Me Plus. You're going to get the best listening experience you possibly can. There's ad-free full episodes, story-only episodes. If you listen all night, Sleep With Me Plus is much better for that. If you like to pick episodes out of our entire catalog, so if you're saying to yourself, man, this podcast helps me out so much, how can I help it back? I want to feel good about it. I already feel good about it. You could do that at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Thank you. Hey, everybody, this is Scoots here, and this is not a continuation episode, but I was inspired, this is another of these hybrid episodes that'll be kind of like, have a little bit of a personal essay, because I know those are very popular, and a traveling through space, not an outer space episode, and it'll be on this variation on a theme, because I can't force personal essay episodes. I know they're popular. I can only put out so many a year. I only have so many personal essays, and this idea came organically because we recently, this week for me when I'm recording it, I recorded a Winterfest medallion search episode. And it was quite embarrassing. I mean, luckily I'm open to embarrassment, but that I was positive where the medallion was located. And as I proceeded with towards the end of the clues, I realized I was not in the right place at all. But I figured, well, what if I took even though I know it's a futile quest? I mean, that's what Sleep With Me is all about anyway. So to set the stage here, we're going to go back in time, even though into my imagination as well. And we won't load all the kids up. It'll just be me and you heading from close to where I grew up in Syracuse out to Green Lakes State Park to search for this medallion. And then I located the 15th clue that I didn't have in the other episode, which is very clear. But even though the 16th clue is also clear, that my initial instinct was wrong. But let's just see what would happen if we were looking around on a map. You know, now we have access to these maps and stuff. And we'll drive out there, because that's always interesting when we go through space in my imagination and the past. And we'll see what we find. And then if we have time, then we'll go. I couldn't find very many good vintage maps of the New York State Fairgrounds, but I did find a couple that weren't the right era, but which I already, when we were doing the clues, I said, is that open to the public at all times? But I mean, I don't know. I guess apparently it is. The New York State Fairgrounds. Also, if you're confused, you're in the right place. You don't have to listen to the previous episode, because we're going to take a drive, and we're going to start here at the Mundy Branch Library, which has a very historical significance. One of the formative places in my youth, still exists on Geddes Ave in Syracuse, New York. And we're going to drive from there out of the parking lot, which is actually on Rowland Street, like as in Kelly Rowland, onto Geddes and head out. So when we'll head out to Green Lake State Park, and we'll see what we pass. I mean, I already have something to pass. So we're going to come on Rowland. We're going to take a left on Geddes. And, oh boy, this has us in the wrong place, but that's fine. So I got to get back to where we were. This has us at the entrance of... Okay, so there we go. We're on Rowland. Now we're turning left on Geddes Street. And we're going to take Geddes now. And we do, like, I don't remember the name of the discount shoe store, but on our right, it's no longer a shoe store, but it used to be a discount shoe store where, you know, if you have 6 kids and they need shoes, you would go to buy shoes. I don't know. I imagine it was called Central Shoes Discount. That's on the right. Also near the Monday Branch Library is a burn dairy where if my mom was taking us to the library and she needed, it's like kind of like a convenience store. You could get, if she needed milk or some other staples, we would go there. We did have one family adventure there once, but I'll talk about that another time. Also, there's a barber. And I can't remember the 2 barbers' names because they didn't cut my hair as often as they did my siblings. Lou? I can't remember. But they are also there on the left somewhere, or they were. And we're going to continue on Geddes. We're going to pass by a lot of different stuff. I mean, we're going to take Geddes past Seymour Street. Oh, boy, we're taking it a lot further than I would have taken it. We're taking it all the way to 690. And I probably wouldn't have, I don't even know where I'm going already. But yeah, so we're past a lot of stuff from one place that doesn't exist right off of Geddes Street was a place my dad loved getting pizza. Now, it started with a P. Maybe I'll think of it. I shouldn't have brought it up, huh? It was one of my dad's favorite pizza places. It was a pizza place that it served different, not New York City style pizza. Syracuse has kind of its own styles of pizza. Man, what was the name of the place? I think there was 2 of them, but they would really cook their cheese on the top. Like where it would almost be caramelized. I don't know if that's what my dad liked about the pizza. It was good. We didn't get it very often because I'm sure the rest of us said, Dad, this cheese is overcooked. So yeah, that's what I like about it. I'll have to ask him. But man, where is 690? Okay, I guess I kind of know where it is. All right, so we're getting on 690 East. And where are we going from there? Okay, we're going to head east. We're going to head past, Dinosaur 81. See, I would have got on it in a different section. If I wasn't following these directions that were given to me, what we probably would have done is taken a right on Erie Boulevard or Fayette Street and then headed down towards downtown Syracuse, and then we would have taken West Street. And I think we could have gone on 690 there, but I mean, I've been wrong so many times in my life. But we're going to take 690. It's going to bend around. If you look to your right, you may see the Erie Canal Museum. And then a famous thing as a child in Syracuse coming up on our left out the window will be a Syracuse, like an old train station that I have no idea anything about. But it was an elevated train station stop, and traditionally in Syracuse, there was always mannequins waiting for the train. And as someone that didn't get to a lot of, like, who always dreamed of going to places with animatronics, even seeing non-animated statues meant to look like people, I mean, they weren't, they're just, I don't know if they're plastic or stone, but they're just like cream colored, but they were waiting for a train. Always exciting. Always a big, ask Syracusans, and they'll say, oh, yeah. The people wait. I mean, they may know more facts. But yeah, we're going to take 690. We're going to be on this a while. And luckily by, the power of magic and podcasting, the only other thing we're going to look out for as we get further out is Trying to find where Lemoyne is. We passed Syracuse University. Somewhere out here is like Lemoyne College. There it is. Where a lot of people I know attended school. I know some people that worked there. But what's important, I mean, Lemoyne's great, and met a lot of great people when my friends went there. But near Lemoyne, I guess on Thompson Road, let's see if we zoom in here, is, there it is, Lost Horizon. I think it's on Thompson Road. No, it's not coming up here, but I think it is on Thompson Road. We're not going to get off and go there. Lost Horizon was, I don't know what the term for it is, like a music club that was 16 and up. And I don't know if Syracuse had like a ton of, like, this was like a small, like you paid whatever, $5 and you'd see 4 bands. Most of the time it was some sort of rock. It could get into like a heavy metal, maybe a little bit of punk. There were country music nights as well. And my friends and I would go there because you could go and it was like so fun. You didn't actually have to imbibe. I mean, you couldn't imbibe there, but you could imbibe in the music, man. So, okay, but we're going to keep going on 680. Are we getting off here? Oh, wait, yeah, maybe I should just use the directions, huh? You're right. Okay. Sure. Okay, well, so we took Geddes, we got on 690, then we got off at, in the second lane, on Thompson, we're merging on Thompson Road, East Bridge Street, East Syracuse, second lane from the right. And yeah, we're going to take exit 17 for Bridge Street, towards wherever. And, now I'm lost. Okay, so we got off, and this is like DeWitt. So there may have been a mall out here at some time, but I'm not, my memory's not the best right here. And we're going to take a left on Bridge Street. And I don't know, maybe there was one of the malls I grew up in right around here. I don't know. We're going to take, now it says Manlius 290, Manlius Center Road. Okay, so we're on this road by mall. Maybe there was a mall. Manlius Center Road. And we're going to take that. That's also known as 290. We're going to pass over 481. And I think where this Walmart was a mall, maybe. I don't know, though. No, I guess I'm wrong. And I'm having trouble reimagining what 290 is. So maybe one day we'll take this again, because I know I've been there, but I think this is where once upon a time there's Shopping Town Barbershop. So this is where Shopping Town Mall was, somewhere out here. And I guess maybe where I'm looking, but it looks like there's houses there. If you're looking on personal facts, we used to go out here for Thanksgiving to my aunt and uncle's house, and spend time with Ed, Molly, Abby, Betsy, and John. And also my Aunt Betsy lived out here at one point. She lived in a 2-story house with an elevator, briefly. And I think it was less of a thing of grandeur than the previous resident needed an elevator, right? But I mean, for kids from Syracuse, New York, because it wasn't like it was a nice house, but it wasn't some gigantic mansion. But the idea of being in a house with an elevator was probably like, it was amazing. But yeah, we're on 290. And I wish I had more facts about this road, but I can't really, I can't imagine it. But now, wow, we got out here fast. Just take 690, then 290. And then we're going to, all we got to do is turn from 290 onto Green Lakes Road, and we're already here. So we're going to turn right onto Green Lakes Park Road, and then we're going to go into Green Lakes Park. And then what we're going to do is boot up the map just of Green Lakes Park. So let's just see, Monday Branch Library right there, but we're going to go back to Green Lakes State Park. And I know there's a golf course there. Let's review, Four Seasons Golf and Ski Center. So you could go cross-country skiing. We came into it on one side. Normally I would come into it, okay, that's why I'm confused. Normally I'd come through Route 5, to get there. And the last time I was there 2 or 3 years ago, that's the way we went. So but we took the back way, Oh boy, did we get there, 290 or whatever to 257. But yeah, let's check our all our hints, and we'll get back to like where are we looking, even though we know. And we'll start to narrow it down. We all got, you and I got in the car together to head out here. So our first tip was that it's in Onondaga County, which I forgot to double check to make sure we're still in Onondaga County. It's a place where people in the summer fest. There's green with birdies, woods, and trees. And there's water nearby. Okay. And we want to do some tracking, which I don't know, makes sense with the cross-country skiing. Let's see. Don't be teed if you don't get on track. That's another one where I was like, okay, tees. So I'm thinking the golf course now. And lucky number 7. So Lake Birds tracking 7. Barefoot, that's one where I just, I still don't understand that one. Barefoot, and there's several bridges, curves, and flowers. But, golf carts go over bridges. But I guess they wouldn't want, this is the wintertime. I always forget that. A Disney character where you park. New open igloos. I mean, that could be ice fishing or something. I don't know. Cut down on the size of the venue by a bit. There was something else about arrows. Okay. I figured that was archery. And then looking up. Okay, so let's just check Green Lakes. So we pull in there. And beautiful, plenty of hiking to do here. Holy cow, we're lucky, huh? And we want to get the right layer, though. I'd prefer a layer with satellite. So here we are at Green Lake State Park, and we've driven out here. Now, we probably have to do some more driving, but luckily we're mapping. So there is the Four Seasons Golf and Ski Center, unrelated to, what do you call that, Green Lake. So you could go tubing there and stuff like that. But we took Green Lake State Park Drive. Okay, they're not, right now they decided on not to label the holes for us, but oh boy, we could figure that out somehow, huh? We'll find a map of to hole 7. Because right across the street is Green Lake and the trail that goes around Green Lake. So let's just pretend we're it'd be a lot of walking. No one would be happy with me, but luckily we're doing it as part of a podcast. Okay, so I wonder if we could find hole 7. Well, let's just pretend we're golfing. Okay, so usually when you golf, you walk out to your left. You clockwise it, right? Okay, so hole 1 goes there. Then you got hole 2. Go out further. Hole 3 looks like a par 3. Hole 4 is a longer 4 or 5. Having trouble finding the... Okay. I guess you go there. Hole 6. Hole 7. Did I say 7 or 17? I guess I got to check my clues again. 7 or 17. Aren't we glad? Isn't this nice? We're so warm, though. It's for straight and narrow. And cut down on the venue size. We don't know what that means. Definitely don't know what it means. Park and lark. And curves and flowers. And maybe it was 7, but I guess it doesn't really help us. Because I was like, holy cow, that's such a good clue that we'd be already set. Okay, so we'll pretend we're walking around and saying, okay, I don't see any bridges. I don't see any parking. Okay, let's go back to Green Lakes. Is there any archery in Green Lakes? Let's just check. How do you spell archery? A-R-C-H. Archery, okay, there is one, or maybe not. Are there any near there? No. There's a golf course, Green Lake Lanes, but that's away. But let's just pretend that, if I'm in charge, I'm like, we're finding this thing. Okay. Green Lake, Round Lake. Now, I guess what I would do, if I'd say, okay, well, let's just cross the street here. Luckily, we got good boots on. Looks like there's a way to cross into the woods here on further out on the between the first hole and the second hole. So we'll cross through the woods, and then it probably wouldn't be like we probably have to do some navigating to get to the hiking path that circles Green Lake. But we're gonna do that, and. See, there's got to be an archery range around here somewhere. Actually, there's a big parking area coming up with a restroom. And I'd say maybe it's around here somewhere. I mean, there's plenty of open green space where you could do archery. Maybe there's archery in the summer. And this would probably be when most people in my group would be losing hope and faith in me. But I'd say, don't worry, we'll get, I brought hot cocoa, hot nog. So what we'd do is sit down here. There's probably a nice bench because it's beautiful. And I don't know if I don't think Green Lakes, I don't know if it freezes over in the winter or not. But we'd have a good view. And then we'd keep going. I mean, because if I'm doing it, maybe somebody would say, I'm going to go back and get the car and say, okay, come up and bring it to the next 2 parking lots from now. And they'd say, Scoots, man. I said, don't worry, we're going to be fine because the next parking lot, I'd say maybe it's this one. Like, it's not that far along. And that's an asphalt parking lot. There's also another restroom. So I'd say, okay, maybe there's the archeries around here. Then we could follow that path back. I think there's a big changing, like a house you can rent out for weddings, or like a building, events changing building. Look around there. We could walk around there for a while. And this is again on the edge of Green Lake. So we probably have a beautiful view of the lake. I'm sure there's beautiful winter wildlife out, winter birds, and it's so, we're so warm and toasty. And I say, this is like one of the great, this is a Green Lake, not a Great Lake, but it's pretty nice. Then we would walk down towards the swimming and beach picnic area, and we could reminisce about times as a little kid I came here with my parents. The beach house is where the snack bar is, and we'd say, oh boy, it's not open. Restrooms are also closed. But we could walk around. And I'd try to make the best of it in a real way. I'd say, who gets to walk on the beach in the middle of the winter looking for a medallion? And then we'd go over the clues again, and then I'd try to point out, there's another big parking area. That's where whoever moved the car, I told them to park the car, but we probably have to, they'd be, no, I'm on the other side. I'd say, okay, don't worry, we'll come over there. And now is when I may be digging in a little bit, because I'd say, okay, well, yeah, here's where we used to park as kids. There's also a playground, I think, so we could play on the playground briefly. And there's grills and stuff, so people like in the picnic areas. I said, I remember all this, man. And then there's another set of restrooms and parking on the other side. That's where our ride is. And you get to see how big the swimming area is, and that it could be bustling, and other buildings. And then I would probably say, oh, yeah, I don't know if this was the TVA or the CCC that built all this, but oh boy, am I glad they built all these facilities. And then there's even the Green Lake Environmental Center all the way on the other side of the shore. Now we would probably split up, because I'd say, well, I might as well walk the rest of the lake, because there is the disc golf course, so I should go to the 7th hole of the disc golf course. Now, meanwhile, those other clues haven't come out yet, so it's like, I'm like, we could be the ones that find the medallion. We just can't, we got to stick with it. And hopefully that the disc golf course would have some sort of way, because it's just basically like an open field when I look at it from above, and say, okay, I got to figure out where the 7th hole is. And there's even like I think a baseball softball field, like not that far off. So I'd say, well, maybe there's like the archery things down there, because there's more covered picnic areas and stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot of photos from the disc golf course. Oh boy. And just seeing, I mean, think about the smells we were smelling together. There's a little bit of loamy autumnal where the ground isn't frozen. And there's still, we see the trees are empty, but then there's, the evergreen trees mixed in. And, we got the wind, but luckily, we're this is great. Maybe at this point, I'm even saying it to myself as I look around, and I say, okay, well, I'm still not ready to call it, because I think there's like is there a camping area too? Because there may be, like a place to camp, So I said, well, let me just try to go to campsite 7, if there is a campsite, because it does look like it's RV camping or tent camping. And I would check that. I'd say, don't worry. Now, I would also wouldn't realize that, oh, wait, there's another camping route, loop out on the other side of Round Lake, too. And Round Lake's another one of the Green Lakes. It's beautiful, and again, if you're it's highly recommended to, it's a national, natural landmark. So it is definitely worth checking out. So we could look at that. So I guess I would end up checking every campsite. And I would still be like, man, we're close. I know we're close. And maybe I'd see another medallion hunter. Then I guess I would head back to the golf course, but I would have taken the long way around, which is fine. Because since I went around Green Lake to Round Lake to the other campgrounds, checked both sets of campgrounds, and I said, well, is there a third set of campgrounds? Does anybody know? Is anybody still speaking to me that's on this adventure? But luckily everybody knew, so they stayed in the car where it was nice and warm, and the heat was going, and now the sun is starting to wane, and so we're like, okay. And then someone says, you know what? All the clues came out because this is a form of time travel. So we're going to drive to the New York State Fairgrounds. And I say, okay, let's do it. I believe in you. So let's just type it in our directions to see which way we would go. All right, so we got a couple choices. We could do the way we came in, or we could do it the way Scoots was talking about. Let's do it that way. 481 instead of 690. And let's do it that way. And Scoot says, okay, let's do it that way. All right, so let's check it. Okay, we're going to do that. And let's see, preview. Okay, so we're going to take, we're going to leave Green Lakes. We're going to take Green Lakes State Park Terrace, passing. Thanks for picking me up, by the way. Now we're back on 290, and where are we? Okay, so then we're going to go back down Manlius Street, and I said, wait a second, some of this looks familiar to me, so maybe I'll remember where, maybe something will ring a bell about something or other. So we take 257 North Manlius Street, and then maybe I start to say, wait a second, shouldn't we, let's just stay on North Manlius Road instead of following the directions. And you say, okay, Scoots, because I'm pretty sure this is like, the crossover of Manlius and Fayetteville. One of the things I noticed the last time I was in Manlius is that they still have a movie theater there, but I'm not sure where it is. There's, right now we're passing by Ace Hardware and by Beard Park. Somewhere, out here somewhere is Industrial Color Labs, where you could get your film done. And we're still on Fayetteville Manlius Road. Somewhere is the town of Manlius. Oh, here it is, I think, coming up here. We're coming in High Bridge. Maybe I should have taken High Bridge, huh? No one knows. But yeah, we're here on, we're High Bridge, and we're 92 and Manlius become Fayette Streets. And this is where the Manlius Public Library is. And, okay, now there's a Tops here. I don't know if this is the Tops we would walk to from my cousin's house. But we got a lot of hullabaloo here. Seneca Street, not sure even which way to go. I usually don't travel by cloud either. That's part of the reason why. Let me zoom out and see how far off of we're pretty far off of the directions. Oh, that's why I went and, I'm driving away from Syracuse, which is fine. So we'll have to do, I was going to keep going out on Washington Street. Where would we end up if we took that the wrong way? Pompey Center Road. And, we're almost out to Cazenovia, so we better turn around. We almost went from a Green Lake to a Finger Lake. We'll go back to Manlius. We're going to take Seneca. So since we're returning, we're going to take a left on Seneca. And it's going to become Seneca Turnpike. Now, wait a second. Okay, let's just stay on Seneca Turnpike. At some point, I'll recognize something. And they say, Scoots, you recognize anything? And I say, well, there's Manlius again. So, no, I think it's okay. We're on a Sunday drive. What if we take this Troop Road? That looks familiar. You say, okay, take that then, Scoots. Okay, so because there's a golf course, I remember seeing it out the window. But I don't like, I wanted to see where the movie theater was in Manlius. That's why I got so distracted. You see, you could find anytime you want, Scoots, but probably not right now. Okay, well, we tried, I guess. So, okay, so where were we? I mean, the last I checked, I accidentally started driving us towards Casanova, right? Then we took Seneca. And I said, okay, that went in the wrong way. But now we're on the Seneca going the right way. And now we're at Sweet Road. I say, okay, not exactly sure where we are. But then somebody says, keep with it, stay on Seneca, Scoots. And I say, okay, great, stay on Seneca. So we passed by Three Falls Woods, never been there. And we stay on Seneca. Nothing's looking familiar yet, but that's, this we're on a Sunday drive. And we get a place, we get a couple views. I think there's a quarry nearby here. Off our right, maybe? Is that what that is? I don't know. It may be. Okay, now we're heading into Jamesville. And Pompey Road, Salve Road. I think we just stay on this. Jamesville Community Museum, Pastry Palace. I gotta believe Seneca Turnpike is gonna take us the right way, because I think I would go out here to when I worked at as a cleaner. I think this is where we'd have our yearly thing at Clark's here. State Park. So we just passed that. So we may be in, I don't know, are we in Fayetteville or something? And we're staying on Seneca Turnpike. And oh boy, there we are, Brighton Ave, man. So this is another big place where Scoots worked for 3 or 4 summers, 3 summers and 3 school winters. So on school break and sometimes even spring break, I think 2 spring breaks, he would work at the 2 apartment buildings here on Brighton Ave and East Brighton Ave, the tower over the thing. And he would clean the floors. He moved what do you call that? Ovens and refrigerators, and clean apartments when people moved out. Help mow the lawn or plow, like shovel in the wintertime. Clean the bathrooms. So that's cool. We're not that far from Syracuse University now. We're going to take, I guess, what used to be Route 81, and we're going to go through downtown Syracuse here. And pass through some of Syracuse University's property, which is cool. And yeah, we're like in downtown Syracuse now, and you can see the Syracuse Carrier Dome and upstate and all the towering, beautiful buildings of Syracuse University up on the hill there. Also down here on the other side of 81 was where Scoots, up until he was probably 18, that's where he would go for his checkups. Right down here, what's the street it would have been on? I'll take a look here. So we have Burt, Taylor, Jackson, Madison Towers. So Harrison, somewhere around here, Harrison and 81 and Almond Street was where Scoot's old Cassidy, D.O.C. Cassidy was, who was a family person who kept everybody going good. So, yeah, we passed, there's another, thing. Now we've passed through Syracuse. Hopefully by the time we're doing this, 81 was taken down and there's new vibrancy. or we took the side streets. And we could go back to Mundy Branch Library, but no, we're going out to the State Fair. So we're going to get on 690 again in downtown. And we're going to keep going. We're going to take 690. And now it gets exciting because then as we head out towards Salve on 690, Scoot starts to talk about his building anticipation for getting to the fair when he would go as a lad, even though it's winter now, and how this is the approach they would take, and it would depend on if his father knew somebody that was running a parking lot farther away, or they're going to pay full price for fair parking. And we'll slowly get to the New York State Fair parking. And I guess we would look for whichever one, if it was the past, we'd actually look and we'd say, okay, where's the one that's named for the famous whatever person? But now what we need is historical maps because, which we do have, not the right historical map, but close enough. Because Clue 15 told us if the crowds in the grandstand were if crowds were in the grandstand across the field, they'd see. So we're going to go to the grandstand. Okay. All right. And then we got a couple places we could start looking for this across the field they'd see. So we're trying to find a place that had, so Syracuse used to have a grandstand, Syracuse New York State Fairgrounds, where, you could have racing or, I think that's what they had out there, different races and stuff, but across from it, it depends on which part of the field. Like, I guess they're talking about the infield, and the grandstand faces where the midway used to be. But beyond the midway, I'm trying to look for water because below the grandstand is like one lake, and trying to figure out. I thought we had two maps. Here's another map. Now it's just RV parking. Oh, no, that was when the grandstand was still there. Okay, this is a pretty good map. It's from 2014, so it's not perfect, but across the field they'd see. Okay, the closest thing with a water is 9 and 10. And this is the New York State Park at the fair and the vet building and memorial. But I don't see any bridges there, but it's been changed and updated. But that doesn't necessarily mean there's water. So let's go back to our clues. They'd see it. So across the way we'd see, which we're looking across the way, right? What's 15? Oh, that was the one we just quoted. 17. It's on the ground where the sheep lay. It's your turn to play. Keep the 15th clue in mind, and your treasure you will find. Okay, what was 16 again? Let's check 16. Got a lot of copies of clue 17 by accident. Somehow I duplicated that one, just in case we needed it more than once. Or something else white as snow will lead you to the place. So the sheep. So maybe going back to see if there's a sheep building. I don't know what they meant about bridges and water, though. I mean, maybe the bridges to get to the state fair. Okay, let's see. Grange building, poultry, Toyota, the dairy, science, butter sculptures in 17, potato booth. I can't wait till one day we actually do an episode from the New York State Fair. Okay, I'm not seeing anything there. Let's check this other map I have. It's not as good a quality. I don't know what year it's from. Looks like, I don't know. Can't tell. Yeah, that one doesn't have any. Let's try this one. Oh, this one does have, okay, so I can at least read it. Art and Home Center, State Park at the Fair, Horticultural Building, Holiday Tree Building, Log Cabins, International, Butter Sculpture, Colonnade, Science, Grange, 21. I'm thinking the Grange. Oh, Goat Tent, 31. Goat Llamas, Sheep Barn, 33. Okay, folks, we're closer than we've ever been before. Except I can't read the numbers. I think that's 33. So now I know where 33 is. Let me check those other maps that are better quality. 33. That one's not better quality, but this one is. Okay, 33 on that. Let's check. What is 33 on this map according to this? 34 on this one is the sheep barn. Okay. All right, so 34 is the sheep barn, which is directly across from the thing. So I guess we would just look on the ground now. And then we start to realize that how lucky did we get that we make a sleep podcast. And now we're entering, well, it's outdoors. And suddenly we're seeing that there's clouds in the sky that look like sheep. There's Winterfest sculptures of sheep. Then indoors in the warmth is a place where you could feed sheep or even pet them if they want to be petted or talk to them. And coming over the speakers is scoots. And they have like this other exhibit where it's not real sheep, but they're warmed. They're animatronic, warmed, soft sheep that you could snuggle with and get comfortable. And they hand out a medallion to everybody, whatever it was, a lucite medallion that says, thank you for taking the tour all the way out to the great... because we're close to Onondaga Lake, and there's some smaller lakes here, and they say, oh boy, you did go over some bridges, you just didn't realize it. You saw, you went to Mundy Branch Library, so then they even have a medallion for that, discovering, where Scoots bought his shoes as a kid, those suede shoes with Velcro that he thought was going to change his life. They were shoes, but they had sneaker bottoms, and they were Velcro, and they were brown suede. And he thought, in whatever grade he was, 4th or 5th grade, that these shoes would change his life. Really, he did think that for sure. And that they would make him romanceable and confident. And unfortunately, just like in the movies on the first day, what happened in this version is everybody said, oh, those are the sleepiest shoes. They're so relaxing. And so we went to that place, Mundy Branch, where, so much positive things happened to Scoots there. And the barber shop, the pizza place that he can't remember, or the barbers he can't really remember. And then you get another medallion that talks about how you saw a lot of them have question marks on them, where it says, oh yeah, you also saw that train station with the pretend people. That's historic, somewhat. You get one for looking at the parking lot of Lost Horizon Club. And if Scoots had actually known where he was going, we would have stopped at Pavone's Pizza and Manlius. So you would have got another one shaped like a slice of pizza that said Pavone's Pizza. And maybe even medallions of the historical malls, shopping town, Fayetteville Mall, maybe. I don't know. Scoots says, yeah, it could. Scoots couldn't quite remember, but and you say, wow, this is great. And you realize that the pretend sheep are even purring, and you could feel them breathing, and they're warm. and you're listening and you're hearing the joy of children and childlike adults like Scooter celebrating the discovery of the medallions. And then they tell us, you do hear them telling Scooter, like, there was medallions in this. Did you look in the hole on the seventh green of the golf course, or the disc golf course, or the, under the picnic table of the, campsite 7? He says, no. Well, go back. You could go back there and find your tokens there, Scoots, too. And he says, thank you so much for listening. Good night, everybody. Sleep well. Thanks. Good night. Hey, everybody, it's Drew Scooter here. It's time to talk about tonight's sponsor. The sponsor I'm sleeping in every single night, ideally, except when I'm out of town, and then I'm missing it. And that's my Helix mattress. You could take the mattress quiz at helixsleep.com/sleep. See what mattress you get matched with. I sleep in the Helix Dusk Luxe. And when I took the quiz, that's a mattress I got matched with, because I sleep on my side, I sleep on my stomach. I don't like to be hot and stuffy at night, so I love the cooling features. And I know from my experience with traveling that no other mattress fits my sleep needs. There's no other place I'd rather be than in my bed in the sweet, sweet arms of my Helix Dusk Luxe. Because even when I've stayed in really, really nice hotels, I haven't felt like the mattress met my needs and how I sleep. That's what I love about Helix. I mean, you take the quiz, it matches how your sleep and feel preferences. You could take it with your partner. Then the mattress comes straight to your door, shipped free of charge. You just bring it inside and you set it up. So I love my Helix. It's a part of my long-term plans, man. It's like a long-term relationship because sleep's important to me, and being comfortable in bed's important to me. So you should check out that Helix quiz. Everybody, this is an exclusive offer for Sleep With Me listeners. It's better than what you find on the public website, so pay attention. Go to helixsleep.com/sleep for 27% off site-wide, plus 2 free Dream Pillows with mattress purchase, plus a free bedding bundle, 2 Dream Pillows, a sheet set, and a mattress protector with any Luxe or Elite mattress order. That's helixsleep.com/sleep for 27% off site-wide, plus 2 free Dream Pillows with mattress purchase, plus a free bedding bundle, 2 Dream Pillows, a sheet set, and mattress protector with any Luxe or Elite mattress order. helixsleep.com/sleep. Thanks, everybody.